The story you're about to hear is fictitious. You're watching Random Stories of Nonsense.
I hope your boat sinks, the little salamander said to the big orange bear as he crumpled his pieces of paper. The big orange bear wasn't too happy about what the salamander was saying. He was being real sassy, real gritty in his face. The big orange bear turned to the salamander and said, "Pappy," because the salamander was indeed his father. "Pappy, I don't like how you're talking to me right now. I wish you'd be a little kinder to your kin." Salamander was not really interested in being kinder to his kin. He was ready to bust some chaps. But the big orange bear kept pleading, "Papa, you and your kind." Oof. He knew he was getting that salamander scored when he said something like that. "You and your kind, you've been on my tail since last we met and chatted, and I'm sick of it. And I just realized I'm bigger and stronger than you, and I can take you down." Well, the salamander had pretty much confused the bear up until this point about size differentials and power differentials. And so the salamander got a little spooked once he realized that the bear realized that he was bigger and stronger. Salamander couldn't bully him anymore. So the little father sat the bear down and said, "Son, I've got something to tell you. First, I'm not really your father. I'm a salamander. You're a bear. And there's no biological way I could have been your father. So that's lie number one. Lie number two, and this is only because I care about you and because I'm your father. But I'm not your father. I just kind of tricked you into believing I was your father. Kind of like a Rapunzel situation. If you've seen the movie Tangled." And then he went off and talked about all his favorite Disney movies and his favorite Disney princesses. But then he got back on track and he said, "Now, bear, now that you know I'm no longer your father, or I never was, I think we should part ways." And the bear said, "But Pa, why, part ways? I never known no one but you." And the salamander said, "Yes, but you're like a couple weeks old. Really, that may seem like an eternity to you, couple-week-old being, but in reality, it's not very long. It's not very long at all." And the bear said, but what do I do? Where do I go?" And the salamander said, "Turn around." And as the bear turned, he saw his family caged up behind him the whole time. Never even thought to look behind him. And his family never thought to just make a noise and say, "Hey, we're locked up in here. We look like you. We're your family." So it was a weird situation. And the salamander said, "If you give me to the count of 100, I'll let your family out and I'll be gone out of your life." And the bear said, "That sounds fair, but now that I realize I have to think for myself, and you could be a liar, no offense, how are you going to release them if you've already run away from 100 seconds ago?" And the salamander looked at him and he said, "You've caught me in another lie. I think that..." In that moment, the bear seized him and said, "All right, you little salamander, you're going to open up that gate, you're going to release my real biological family, and then I don't know what we're going to do with you, maybe eat you." And the salamander said, "Let go of my throat." And so the bear eased up a little bit and he said, "Okay, very well. You win again, bear. You win again." And the bear said, "When did I win before?" And the salamander again looked shocked and said, "When you were born. You punched me right in the nose, and it hurt really, really badly. And it still makes me cry thinking about it. And the bear looked at him and said, wow, for a little liar, you sure got a lot of feelings in that little body of yours. All right, maybe we won't eat you. So he took the salamander over. Salamander pulled out his king ring. He sifted through the keys until he got the right one. Put it in, and the right key worked on the right lock, and the bears were released. And the bear looked over to his parents and said, how come you guys never said anything to me that you were behind me the whole time? 2 weeks, and you didn't even call my name. And the big father bear said, because, son, you know, he cast a spell right on this whole bar, and we couldn't say anything. And Salamander looked around and said, about that spell, I lied. I just didn't want you to tell him you were here. Oops. And the big father bear said, you did? What now? You lied to me? And my kid? Well, you're gonna get a real good punch in the kisser. And he punched the lizard right in the nose, because he was furious. And the lizard salamander said, ouch. Oh, please. Please don't put me in that jail cell again. And the bears got an idea. They were going to put him in the jail cell. And they put him in. They picked the right key that he used. He took his key ring and they locked him in there. And they left to live a happily ever after in the woods with their son. But they didn't think that through, did they? Because a little salamander can fit through bars.